Well, hi everybody. I hope everything's working. I hope this gets to somebody. It's been so long. It wouldn't surprise me if everybody gives up on me. Please don't give up on me. None of us can afford to give up on anybody else that's on the right track right now. Um, Today was something else. I had to live 82 years to see America disgraced that bad and have a president prove that he was a Russian asset while he's in office in front of the whole world. Uh, I would have bet whatever my last penny that that would never happen to America. But here we are, and of course we're here because now it's starting to come out that he stole not only stole the first election he won. It's even coming out when they look back on the charts for it, but it's coming out that he definitely stole this election big time. I mean, we should have known he didn't run the table in the swing states, but I think we all did know. Knew that something was terribly amiss. Actually, we knew that the election was stolen from the minute it happened. During watching it, it was even unreal. But anyway, what a day for America. I mean, I've seen those clips before of the Statue of Liberty crying and everything else. I don't know what could be crying now, but we'll be lucky if we don't end up in World War III if they don't get him out of office some way. I'm not going to say anything that might get me in trouble, but it's time for him to leave, and it's time for Vance to leave. And maybe somebody could get a young boy in there, and maybe Lindsey Graham would follow him. Anyway, I'm just really, I don't mean in the office, whatever. I'm just my way of saying I'm pissed off at Lindsey Graham too. What an asshole. What a traitor. I mean, I know all these guys are compromised up to their teeth. And of course, we know that Lindsey Graham probably has millions of things to be compromised for. In the Mueller report, the guy that was, whatever, the biggest investigator for all the security forces at that time, said that they had proof in there that the Trump was a Russian plant. He thought that they even referred to that they thought he was being blackmailed. Well, I thought maybe the reason he was so happy with all right, then I'm having, how could I forget his name? Elon Musk, uh, whatever the F his name is. I'd like to call him something different. Was because I figured that he purchased his jet from Russia. Maybe got the blackmail work, maybe got all the Epstein stuff. Because I'm sure Russia had a copy of all that stuff too. Uh, you know that that's why he was so in gratitude to him. But maybe it was just for getting him elected, so he didn't go to jail. And Putin still got. I'm sure he still got any compromise he had on him. He still got it, and I'm sure he's got tons of it. Although, right out in the open, he's such a rotten president, and everything he's saying and doing and stealing. I mean, he even said that he's going to take Gaza over for him, and they don't want these minerals for the United States. They want them. Elon wants them for his cars. That's what they use in the batteries for the electric cars, and now they're handing control of our airplanes over to Elon's Musk company without even having anybody bid on it when it was already supposed to be given to Verizon. Uh, I mean, how much more theft and graft can be right in front of your eyes? and Elon's canceling contracts of people and then taking their contracts over. I mean, it's just it's we used to tease about what did they call those countries in Mexico and all in South America and stuff about it being there's a store named after that. It's funny. My mind just went, but we used to talk about them being that kind of country, and we're definitely that kind of country, and nobody's saying nothing, nobody's doing nothing, and anybody that has any pride at all in the Republican Party right now that's going along with this, they have to be devastated too. Now they're going along because they think their kids and family might get killed, or they're going along because they've got all this compromise on them too, and they know it. But if it's just because they're afraid they might lose their job in the Senate or the House, then shame on them. God, shame on them. So I need to quit holding my throat while I'm talking here. And anyway, I started right out griping again, and I didn't mean to. I wasn't planning on it. I've had questions written down, and I had some interesting topics I thought to talk to you about, and jumped up out of bed this morning and was going to go right to the shower, and then I noticed how late it was, and I thought, well, you better make your protein drink and take your medicine first. And I turned the TV on and whatever. And then I had to go take a shower because I never felt so dirty in my life as I did after I seen that display in the Oval Office today. It made me feel ashamed and dirty and not proud to be an American. And yet I know it's not my fault or your fault. But at the same time, how sad is this for America to have a tyrant in the Oval Office? I mean, we knew he was a tyrant last time. We knew what he wanted to do, and there was some, he did have some people around him that held him back and talked him into following the law a little bit. But this time, there's been nothing but lawlessness ever since he took office. He walked in there breaking the law, and he's broken it every day. And every time he wants to take a heat off of himself, he says squirrel. Today, the squirrel was that we have a new verified language now for the United States, and it's English. Well, how about that? Anyway, I'm just griping again. It's hard to come on and read cards when I want to give you guys good news, and it's not all good news, but maybe we could. I did have some questions here. In fact, I've had the same questions for about a couple of weeks. I keep adding to it, and I had some other stuff I was going to look over. And if anybody still watching after all the mention, if you need a personal reading, it's Lynn Tarot Readings with an S, Lynn Tarot Readings at gmail.com, Lynn Tarot Readings at gmail.com, and put your phone number in that email, and I'll get back with you because I do all my own appointments. If anybody else gets a hold of you, text you or something and says they're me, it's not me. So, I mean, I might text you and give you information, then tell you I'm going to call you or ask you to call me. But then I don't always answer my phone until after you leave a message because I want to make sure, it's not some weirdo. But I still answer all my own calls and set up all my own appointments. So don't worry about somebody else, whatever, it being somebody else. So, so it's been a shit show out there. This is some things I've just been writing down for the last couple of weeks that just things to think on and things that may seem ridiculous now, but half the stuff going on now would have seemed ridiculous 3 months ago. So, and one I put, if you're Hispanic, I suggest you get a passport if you don't have one, because he likes to add to the chaos. And when he's, that I guess from what I understand, they're not even picking up that many people anymore, and Joe Biden did. But of course, they're not checking anybody they pick up. They're just picking somebody up. If somebody in a store accused them of shoplifting or something, they took them out of there when they didn't even, have any proof or whatever. You know how that goes. So I just, especially if you had Hispanic children stuff, and get a passport for all of them, if possible, and if you can afford it. I know they've gone up. I've heard they've doubled or tripled, and I just got one last year, and I can't remember what it was. It seems like it was about $70. I mean, I already had one, but I had to get it. Mine was expired. But because you might have to end up having to prove that your kids are United States citizens or that you are, and the quickest way you can do that is if you got a passport at home. And another thing I was thinking about, and I don't know if I've mentioned this to you already, but if they do get worse and start coming in and taking more people and more people, well, even if they don't get worse, if you're over here and you've got property, business property, any how any kind of property, put it in joint tenancy. Because before, if they keep this stuff up before it's all over, it'll also be a land grab here in the United States. They'll be hauling people to Guantanamo and taking over their properties. And where should that, it'd be just like those minerals. Those minerals they're wanting wouldn't go to to the United States. They'd go to Elon Musk or somebody like that. I mean, it's not like the whole thing is just ridiculous. But anyway, that's just food for thought. And I think I'm gonna maybe read something about this later. But I feel like they never gave up on the coup. They from the time Donald Trump got in the first time, he didn't plan on leaving, and then he ended up have to, even though they tried to still the next election. It didn't work. They didn't have it. They didn't realize how many people would be voting against him, even if they did change some votes. And that's all coming out on TV now. Everything the psychic's been saying is starting to come out on the talk shows on TV, on YouTube, and it's going to grow. They've got the proof that the election was stolen, and by hopefully in 2 or 3 months, maybe it'll be on some of the corporate channels, but I doubt it. I doubt it. They're all in with the rest of them. If you don't believe that they've been in with him for years, you ought to listen to Keith Olbermann from last night. It just blew my mind on Laura Ingraham, what went on, what she was up to 30 years ago. It was amazing, but it was the same type, whatever, where they would get anything on TV they wanted to by spreading it all over and then having little hints come out here and there, and then they'd make a story out of it. But we all think this just started the last few years. No, that's been going on ever since. I don't know. I think maybe she used to work for MSNBC at one time. I don't know, but before she worked at Fox. But anyway, it was really interesting. I mean, I've heard him refer to that before, but he's never really said how he found out or what happened. But it was pretty interesting. So let me see what else I got on here. But yeah, they didn't. So this coup never stopped. I mean, when has an other president ever got out of office and then turned around and tried to tell the House how to vote on stuff and tried to convince the Senate how to vote on stuff all the time he was out of office? I mean, it was just a continuing coup all the way through Biden's term. And had we had somebody maybe more alert and stronger in there, or somebody that hadn't been in government so many years that they didn't even see what was going on under their nose, things might have got done about that and got done quicker, and maybe put in an attorney general that was going to, I mean, who knows what could have, we can't do could have, would have, should have now. But I still think he planned on this coup, and he never stopped it. And that's why he was just standing on the stage swaying, and everybody was leaving. What few people he could get at his rallies the last 6 weeks was leaving as soon as they got their messages on their phone that their payment had come through. So that's why they all get up and leave at the same time. So So, I mean, it was obvious he wasn't trying. It was obvious he had no energy behind him. And then he came through and ran the table on the swing states. No, no, we all knew that was watching this that something's really fishy here. So anyway, but what I'm thinking about is the way he's going through, like with a bulldozer and tearing our government up and showing everybody what a traitor he is. Would he do that if he was planning on having midterms? Would he do that if he thought he couldn't win them by cheating? But you can't change all the votes. Maybe somebody will keep bringing this stuff out and they'll do something about the machines. But I can't see him doing anything about the machines with everybody he's got in charge right now. Who's going to let him fix stuff? They like it the way it is. But anyway, I was meditating and getting my guides to come through and help me. And, it's like, I felt like they were saying it's as plain as day. If they don't even plan on having a midterm, and if they do, if they think they can't steal it, they'll call it martial law. They'll do something to cause martial law right before it, and you don't have elections during martial law. So I'm not trying to make everybody feel bad. I'm just trying to, maybe if everybody started thinking ahead of time, that was the people that are in power at all, maybe there's something they could do to prevent this, or something they could do to set up to make sure we had a, like, I don't know. I don't know any answers, but I know they wouldn't be doing all the things they're doing this quick, this much, and just taking over the United States exactly like Hitler took over Germany, if they really thought they even were going to have a midterm that was fair, where they counted the votes. So anyway, that's just my opinion. And like I say, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. You don't have to agree with me. Yeah, what started on January 6th never stopped, but it was actually going before January 6th. But it's all been a continuation. Right out in the open. Right now, everything they're doing is right out in the open, and everything they're doing is illegal and crooked and putting money in more millionaires' pockets, not doing any bids on contracts. The way they're talking about that deal for the FFA that they're trying to take away from Verizon, who hasn't even got it yet. It's not because Verizon has it; it needed to be updated. They've been working on it a couple of years, and they were just getting ready to take it over. And now there's all of a sudden they're saying Leon Musk, or what is his name, Leon, or I don't know, that his company should take it over. So that North Star or whatever in the fuck it is, it's just all a bunch of crap. They've already taken over the military and fired all the the people in charge of it and put a bunch of dodos in there. So and toe suckers. I guess we can just start calling them all toe suckers. And then that deal on those cyber trucks, that was just right out in the open. And I'm sure you've all heard about it, that there was supposed to be back in December. Biden even signed the paperwork for, I think it was 400,000 to go toward electric trucks. It didn't have to be. It wasn't necessarily for Elon Musk's electric trucks, but to buy them for the military. And all of a sudden they changed that from 400,000 to 400 million, and it was supposed to be the cyber trucks. So, and damn well that. So anyway, they caught him doing that, but nobody said anything about it. Nobody's called him out on it. The news don't call anybody out on it, but they've proven that happened. So they're just a bunch of freaking thieves. Besides, I guess, I can't say uneducated people, but people that don't reason. I think that they uh, think, well, they're rich, so they're going to take care of stuff. Yeah, they'll take care of stuff while they're robbing you blind. They're not going to take care of you or the country or even the world. They're going to mess around and start World War III with this crap they're doing now with Russia. And then what else? Just more that he doesn't plan on having a midterm. He'd rather call martial law right before it so nobody can vote. But at least, Mary, maybe they'll have Radio Free Europe so we can find out what's going on in our own country. Remember when we used to do that for Europe? We'd have Radio Free Europe, and it would come out of America, so Europe would know, what was going on because they couldn't get real news. All they got was propaganda during the wars and stuff. And when Hitler was taking over Germany, maybe when they do that to us, will Europe have a Radio Free America or something where we can find out what's going on, because we're damn sure never going to know from inside our people right now. Not the way it's going. I mean, they're taking over all the news media, getting rid of all the black people just because Trump wanted them off of MSNBC. It's just, it's like right in your face. It's in your face. Well, anyway, like I said, maybe if Europe ends up with a Radio Free America, we'll at least know what in the hell's going on in our country. Nobody knows now, that's for damn sure. Anyway, I got a few things here to read on. And one of the things I wanted to read on, it'll come to me. Anything that comes to me while I'm talking about this, I'm going to write it down. And I had some other people get a hold of me the last video I said, and say they didn't want me talking, just reading cards. Well, doesn't cost you, don't watch. If that's how you feel. I had this written down even before I just got through writing that stuff. So I had these questions written down already. J.D. Vance, does he think he is going to end up president? I'm sure he does. Donald Trump's in deep dementia. Today he was pretending he was a Russian mob boss. Anyway, get some cards here. So, I'm sure this question's been asked 100 times, and that's a minor one for all the stuff going on. But I'm going to start out with that one and see what energy comes through. So does J.D. Vance really think he'll ever become president? I know he was in there sucking the toes today and being a total fucking dick. With his eyeliner, he's probably into a lot of sucking. And I don't usually judge people like that. I don't care what they wear or what they look at or what their gender is or not or whatever. It's none of my business. It's their business. But J.D. Vance is vice president. He needs to grow a pair and stand up for America. And I think about that. I think his kids were too young to be disappointed. But how does his wife feel? How would you feel if somebody like J.D. Vance was your husband and you're young, you get married, you have a couple of kids, he gets into vice presidency, and then he's a traitor? I mean, it's just, I don't know. Let's see. Does J.D. Vance think he's going to become president? What the hell was that little show? And another thing, too, you know what I'm going to ask? I'm not even going to ask that. Of course he thinks he is. That's a question that answers itself. I know that they had that attack on Zelensky plan today. Let's ask that. Was the attack that they pulled on Zelensky today, was it? I've watched it so much on TV, and they put I have the writing at the bottom, and none of them spelled it right. They all had a G on it. So it's Zelensky. I'm sure they plan to how would you put it? Jump him in the Oval Office. That's what they did. Got him in there and then jumped all over him. First they insulted him because he didn't have a suit on. I mean, first let's just take some power there, and then let's jump down his fucking throat if he opens his mouth. And let's tell everybody how great Putin is, by the way, and what a good ally he is. This is just really, it's really sick. This is some sick shit. How in the hell can a nation like this let somebody like that take over when the people, I know that 90% of the people in the United States are behind Zelensky. I don't have a doubt in my mind. They're not behind Putin. And if they are because of Donald Trump's derangement, then heaven help us. Heaven help us if they're that brainwashed. Sorry, I'm almost so is it planned? Yes. I only have to draw one card. I was going to draw more, but no, it was planned out ahead of time. They knew they were going to do a job on him. They were just going to hand it back and forth. So yeah, it was planned ahead of time. That was no accident, but we could tell it was a no accident. Okay, what's the next one I've got here? And yes, and does J.D. Vance think he's going to be president? Yeah. He does, because he thinks he's stronger than Trump, and he is stronger than Trump. Trump's in dementia, and he's down near as old as I am. I mean, like a couple of years, 2 years difference or something. Well, the next question on here, you can tell how old it is. It was, well, the 500,000 laid off protest. Yeah, I think they might protest and keep protesting. I hope they do, and everybody else goes out with them before it's all through. Okay, martial law. Will Trump end up calling martial law? I want to thank anybody that's still watching this. Like I said, I feel so guilty when I don't come on. I bet I've told 30 people that I was reading for. I mean, I'm going to do a video today, and then the longer the day goes on, the more, I can't explain it, but I'm going to be better. I'm going to get better, and because I'm not helping anybody else by keeping my mouth shut. Of course, I'm probably not helping anybody else to carry on like this too, but I've been here a long time. I mean, I'm not saying that gives me street cred, but I've watched a lot of things happen in my lifetime, and I'm 82 years old, and I would have never thought in 100 million years that we'd have a traitor in the Oval Office doing traitorous things right in front of everybody and having all these people go along with him and having all these billionaires in all the cabinet seats. And I mean, it's just a perfect setup. I don't know. It's exactly the same. He may not have used what would have been billionaires in the 1930s and stuff, but it's exactly how Hitler took over Germany. Exactly what Trump's up to. We'll be lucky if you don't set fire to the Senate and the House when it's all over like Hitler did. But anyway. Will martial law be called? Kind of a yes and no question. Anyway, there's not much reason to draw more than a couple of cards on that. I usually use my pendulum for that kind of stuff, but let's see. Well, this is always used to be my Republican card. I guess there's no reason it wouldn't be now with him back in. Kind of be like a yes, or all the people. Clamping down on money. We're all going to be so broke. Let's just go ahead and go with the story here. So it starts out with all the people and all the promises. That's the signifier. And then we've got money being clamped down just totally to almost a standstill. That would be like a depression. But you know what? We got people standing together here, and I know this is not people that love him. He did not even, that was not even a fair election. We all know that. So this isn't the people that are with him. He's got some real, could be some of the people that are kissing his ass that's gonna, this could be a course not. I don't know. Let's just keep going here. But I think this is like maybe the people getting together. This is good works. This is the foundation. So is the people themselves going to end up saving us from this? What could we possibly do that would save us from this? Well, let's go forward. It was, is there going to be martial law? Well, here's the announcement. They're going to try it. And once they do it, they're going to come down fast. And that's Trump. And that's also the chariot moving along fast with it once the announcement comes out. But we've got this could be good. We've got Spingali here. We've got the magician in the coming in fast. So I can't imagine maybe it's the military stopping it. Wouldn't that be nice if they didn't go along with it? They're not going to want to shoot people in the streets. The military aren't. Let's hope not. But now if they bring in Eric Trump's army and all the Proud Boys and everything and deputize them, there might be some shooting in the street, but maybe our government would come in and stop it. Here we go again. We got some lady. And this is a nice lady. It's not anybody that's in the Trump administration. That's in the driver's seat on this. It's what's going on inside the people. It's working together, putting money together. I guess that maybe if our government won't help, the people will get together and help. I don't know. Let's come back and draw some more cards over there when I'm through. Are they going to call martial law? Well, if they didn't, if it got stopped some way and we really had an election, I definitely think the Dems would take everything back over. Here's them being back in power. And the main people that's going to get in power, if we get in power, is the women in the Democratic Party. And most of these, if you look at them, they're not white women that's doing the fighting. Not saying none of the white women are fighting back or men, but the ones that's raising the most hell and fighting against these people is the squad and all the new ladies that had to fight their way up there and had to be smarter than everybody else and do twice as much because they were women and they were of color and weren't white. So this is our biggest hopes and fears right now, and this is the Supreme Court. I think if they go against him right now, this quick, that they wouldn't call the military in there to throw them off their thrones. But if they wait, they might get dethroned. So let's hope that they do some legal rulings. Let's put it that way. Follow the law. Let's hope that they follow the law. Well, this is the outcome. This is not good. It's not good at all. So they try to call martial law. Yeah, they'll tell everybody how great it is. Everybody's going to be so poor that they won't even have time to do anything. They're going to be so busy trying to feed their families. Now, this could be still people kissing Trump's ass. This is the announcement going out. This is Trump trying to go forward in a hurry. Um, this could be the military not obeying. Sometimes the magician can pull a rabbit out of the hat. And then showing the Queen of Pentacles in the seventh house is like saying maybe they'll even lose some control by then. This is some woman, and this is another woman in charge, like in charge of the house or something. So maybe they won't be able to pull it off. Maybe it'll all end up in the courts. Here is the Hierophant. But the outcome is the devil. So I'm going to pull another card for this devil, because I still think it's a Supreme Court ruling over all this. Or, they won't be just one. There's going to be several, but maybe something to do with martial law. Well, we got the Angel of Light and Mercy coming in. I may not even do this. I may just do some readings on something and put some dumb stuff out instead of doing the work showing me talking, because this isn't going to help anybody, but I need to vent, and I know maybe you guys need to hear somebody vent or that feels like you do. So maybe I'll have the courage to go ahead and put this out, even though it's so scary. Because I just want to come on and say, oh, everything's going to be sunshine and roses, and everything's going to go back like it's supposed to, and blah, 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 blah. But I think we've gone too far down the road for that. When they stole the election from Kamala, we got screwed as a country royally. And maybe if people would have been standing up quicker and mentioning things, the Democrats, something would have got done about that. They would have started checking things earlier. The algorithms and everything that got thrown off, and all the votes that started switching after the first 400 and stuff, yeah. So, okay, so we got the next one, Pan Bombay and Trump after guns. Now, they did mention something about guns, and that'd be one of the things that they'll want to do. I mean, they'll still let the Proud Boy and Eric Prince's people have guns, but they're going to be coming for private guns before this is over. You better betcha. So, is the Republican Party, is Trump's regime going to try to take people's guns away from them? There's a lot of them that aren't registered. I used to always have a gun until a few years ago. I hadn't messed with it in so long I couldn't remember how to even load it. But anyway, I gave it to my grandson. But I always had a gun. I used to have a 357. That wasn't a 357. That was a little 22 that was like a 6-shooter. Not tiny, but it had a long barrel on it. But anyway, it would have worked. But I don't have the fortitude to hurt anybody, so I'm not the kind of person to ever have a gun for protection, because I'd probably just soon have them kill me than hurt them. But I've never been, there's a lot of people that probably feel like that, but they're going to get pretty angry when they see what's going to happen to their country and their children and their life and their property. So, okay, so is Pan Bondi and Trump going to come after your guns? It's going to cause a lot of chaos if they do. Look at this. That's not a yes or a no. That's a uh-oh. So let's see. Let's go on with this. We got a five of cups. Yeah, the influence and obstacle is, they're planning it. Having all kinds of people already look at it to see how the best way to do this and how to sneak half of them back without, not that they can go get them out of people's houses, but they'll try to figure out some kind of thing to make it sound like it's a good idea instead of a bad idea. So this is the military coming in. Yeah. If they end up taking people's guns, it will be the military coming in and taking them. Maybe making somebody a deal where you can keep a long barrel 22 to go squirrel hunting. Some kind of deal being offered. Maybe money back for guns. A lot of money being made off of this. Why? Maybe they're gonna buy them all back. Who knows? And we got the world in the seventh house. The world will definitely be watching this. Because you can't have the kind of society which is set up like the Nazis were and have people running around with guns. But this is my card for America, the world in America. So it's like the world is watching America, giving up their guns. And this is going to be coming up a lot, this card. This is the yes card. This used to be the happy endings card sometimes, but this is also, I think, going to be the new oligarch card. The rich businessman and the bullies laying their weapons down and leaving, or being bullied. Well, I did get another lover's card over that. Maybe when everything's said and done, the ones that live through this will be in a happier place. But I don't know. It looks like they're going to try to. Look at this. We got a five of cups. It's not going to be easy. Not a lot of people's going to go for it. But looky here. Here's military power coming in. This is them looking at how much resources they got back to do this. This is more military or paid guns coming in. This is trying to make a deal with the people, maybe to buy them back. This is the world watching. The world's going to keep watching us, so that would be weird. But this, maybe the actual people will be getting aid. Maybe the people from other countries will be sending us stuff because we're going to be in such a mess. And this is America's star trying to come back out. But here's all this wealth pushing against it. But let's hope this is the bully laying down their swords and going home. I'm going to call it that way. These all can't be bad cards. Because we got the lovers after that. We got peace coming through. And a lot of work to restore our country. So it looks like we're going to get through it, even if they try it. It looks like they might try it. But I don't think they're going to get away with it because a lot of the guns aren't registered, and I think they're going to have trouble getting them. There wasn't that many warring cards here, so I don't know. I mean, that's the only good thing. There's no devil in here. It's a loss. It's a loser. It's a loser deal to even try to get the guns from the people in America. That's the first card out. It would be a loser move. But yet they can't complete their regime till they get these guns. So you can all tell me how crazy I am, and I'll agree with you that I think maybe I am a little crazy. Maybe I'm losing it. Every day when I just watch what's going on, I keep thinking, this is unbelievable. So is it me or is it the rest of the world that's unbelievable? So what's the next thing I got on here? I can't believe how fast the time goes. We got it says Ukraine will it fall? I wrote this a couple of weeks ago, and then it says support. Well, it looks like they might get a lot of support from the other countries around the world. Thank God, there's other countries that know what's right for the way the world's set up right now. Changing the hierarchy of who's in control right now and giving it to all the bad guys is not the best thing to do, even if we know it's all about money and power. And then, too, what the fuck are these guys doing? Are they playing a game of Monopoly that who ends up with all the money wins, and then there's nobody else left because nobody's got any food or water or air to breathe or whatever it is? There's nobody to sell their stuff to, so to just be one person ends up with all the toys all by themselves. I don't understand what's behind all this, where they think it's going to go, but maybe it just goes to the next board meeting and who's making the most money. Who knows? So what I was going to read on Ukraine, will it fall? Let's see. And then after that, we'll ask. We know they're going to get support. I think about 15 or 20 countries came out saying they were going to support them. Even some that weren't supporting them before is going to start sending them some money just from that little debacle in the Oval Office today. And it's amazing how all the news deals carried it differently. But the minute they started talking about him never wearing a suit and stuff to his face, I thought, oh, okay, they're getting ready to jump in. Two of them ganging up on one already. Here we go. Pretty damned obvious what their plan was. Ukraine, will it all? Well, it's going to be hard for them. I can't let it go. That's an unsteady tower. Probably should be a yes card, but let me draw some more. Ukraine. Let's follow them for a while. See what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Somebody's going to save them. Who's going to save them? Who's this magician coming in? It's neighboring countries. Maybe it's going to be Europe and Canada. And, some of these people got some pretty good military. And I don't care how crazy these oligarchs are. I don't think they're crazy enough to want to go to war with Europe and Canada and some of these other nations that's got fairly good armies. They may not be as big and powerful as ours, but whatever. So yeah, this is somebody helping from overseas. Somebody coming in and helping them. Giving them money. They're going to get a lot of money from other countries. They're trying to make them felt, but they're going to get a lot of money from other countries. Look at this. This is Trump thinking he's got total control of it, but I think he lost his control of it today. This is going to smoother waters. So is this Zelensky making some kind of deal? Just to get, I don't think he will. They fought so hard and lost so many people and then invaded and these are tough people, but I know they're got to be tired and wore out. So it's just so sad. But here's somebody going to smoother waters. Could be Trump. They could be taking him out of there because it's Trump that falls down. Here's all the people fighting. Got the emperor, and that's damn sure not Trump. I wonder if the Supreme Court's going to clean its act up. I don't know. Let's go. The hopes and fears is that the bully will lay his swords down and be gone. Maybe that's Trump going away. Maybe he will stroke out or something. Not saying that that's what I'm wanting, but maybe he's going to go to the river Styx. Let's see. And here's an offer. Is it an offer of peace? Both sides working together. Secrets being released. Compromise. Somebody helping them decide. A lot of work, but somebody helping them decide how to put things back together again. So it does look like they're going to get the war over some way. There'll be a lot of fighting, a lot of towers crumbling. It's not necessarily Ukraine. Somebody's going to come through and really help. I think this is the other countries that are going to throw all this money at Ukraine. Countries from overseas. Here's the money they're throwing. More money than they're going to get from the United States. Now, how many years they can keep it up, I don't know. So they're going to need to do something. This is Trump being disappointed because they're taking him away. This is the people arguing about it, probably the people that are left. Whatever comes forward. Looks like something's coming forward. Let's hope it's something good for the United States. This is like good law coming forward. This is like the bully laying their swords down and going away. This is an offer of peace being made. This is all both sides coming out and working together, coming to an agreement, doing a lot of hard work, and setting up a new society and new laws. So take it as you can. I don't know. It looks like I don't feel like those cards said Russia was going to take over completely. It looks like they're going to end up getting some kind of a deal worked out before it's all over. Who knows how long that's going to be. I would have swore this war was going to be over a year ago, and it might have been if we'd have let them go in there and do it like they wanted to instead of giving them weapons on conditions. What's this? Did Admon somebody hacking Doge? Anonymous. Okay. Somebody asked me this question: Is Anonymous going to hack Doge and let it out what's going on? I know sometimes they come on and brag about that, but I don't know if they're just braggers or if they're really doing anything. So far, I've never seen anything they've done. So is Anonymous going to hack Doge? I don't know what this means. I wrote it. Well, things change so quick from one day to the next. But right now, we're gonna ask, what is Anonymous gonna hack Doge? Well, we're gonna have to keep going. Let's see. I'll put that over there and put this on top. This is somebody being hemmed in. Somebody taking a leap of faith. Somebody rushing in. don't look too techy or too. This is like the military coming in. This has nothing to do with the question I asked. If I draw one more, every time I draw, this turns up in the sky, present in the sky. And that's Donald Trump's card. That is so weird. It looks like as much as we're all praying that he's not going away right away. But looky here. Okay, this came back. I put all those back in there at different places. Look at this. Here's Trump going away, just like we got last time, in the near future. There's the Two of Cups and balancing. Balancing money, balancing money, balancing money. What did I ask? I asked if Anonymous is going to hack Doge. Should be calling him douche. A lot of hard work. They're trying to do something like that. They're kind of afraid if they step out there that they might get in trouble. Have some legal stuff brought against them by force. This is Donald Trump, but this is him going away right away. And that's 2 times in a row, those cards that showed up there. And then we got government being in disarray. That's twice that I've got government being in disarray. And then somebody coming in that's going to settle things down. Somebody in charge. It's almost like somebody that's just in charge for a while till elections, deals are made and elections are ran. And then I've got the balancing, evening things out, balancing, and justice. And that was Anonymous hack Doge. Well, let's go back over it again with that question. It's like breaking through the barriers, maybe. People finding out what's really going on, new beginnings. Exposing it just immediately and maybe having the paperwork. What's the next one? This is like, I don't know, this would be like the law coming in, but the law's not going to come in to help the people, not the way they got things set up now. I don't see how it could come in to help anybody that should be getting help. This is Trump thinking he's in control of everything one day and going to the river Styx the next day. I don't think he's safe. I don't mean that I think he's gonna have maybe a stroke, a heart attack, something. He might be king for a day and the next 30 minutes just be out of the picture. Here's the people arguing about it when it happens. Here's our government coming in to rule. Somebody from government some way, but to take over till there's some elections. This is a deal being made. Money being balanced, just trying to get some of it back in order. And justice being done. So maybe they will. Maybe they'll hack them and expose all kinds of things so much that people just cannot turn a blind eye to it. I don't know if the people can turn a blind eye to us to Trump being a dictator now. What's going to change it? But it looks like it's going to change. So that sounds like a pretty good note. Looks like something good's going to come from this. America. Oh, okay. Dark night of the soul. We're definitely in our dark night of the soul. We may not have hit bottom yet, but we're headed there. I think people that are paying attention to politics and watching this is kind of just wanting it to get over with, no matter how bad it gets, so we can start going the other way. It's like anything, when something comes up in your life and it looks like you feel like you don't have any control till you know what it is and where you're going, even if it's like a separation or a divorce or even a death during a sickness. You wonder, I'm sure you would wonder and wonder and wonder how you were going to survive or get along without this person, or whether it was financially or because of being loving him so much. But you can't really make any decisions or do anything till the finality comes through. So I don't know if I'm making any sense to you, but it's like we're sitting under a pendulum waiting for it to drop on our head, and we don't know if it's going to cut our throat or just break our toe, or if it's going to miss us completely and we're going to survive. It's a really strange phenomena that we're in now, or whatever, that would be the wrong word for it. Strange circumstances that America has turned into. And we got to think about this. Almost every country in the world's been through this, and a lot of them because we put them there. So, you know, I heard people say that karma's a bitch. I don't know. But it's really not the ordinary people that's put anybody anywhere. But it wasn't their ordinary people either that started the wars, that came back on them. So I don't know what to say. I know I wanted to talk to everybody, make them feel good. The best thing, if you don't do, I keep telling everybody, all my friends stuff, that I talk to people on the phone all the time, every day. My friend Henry and my friend Jackie and my neighbor Lily across from me. She, try to sell them down, say, just don't watch the news or don't do this. But I was just talking to my next door neighbor today. She said she can't quit watching the news because she's terrified. And then when she sees things like today, she's so sad. And we all are, but just it's heartbreaking. But we can't let this, that's the way that authoritarians take over countries and everything else, is to scare all the people and get them so beat down that they feel like there's no way out. So we can't feel like there's no way out of this. The people don't agree with this, and we've always been a country run by the people. It's just that we haven't had any real violence in this country for years. So I don't know if the people are ever going to come out against this, or if they do, if it'll do any good. They've waited so long, and they've just handed everything over to this asshole. So I don't know I want to make you guys feel better. I don't know what to tell you. If you got enough money to stock up on some groceries, you probably should. And here I'm sitting here with my cupboards empty and my refrigerator empty. But I am going to go to the store. I'm going to go to Costco and get groceries on the 5th, because there's a couple of things going on sale that I use. But it might be doubled in price by the 5th. Probably should have went and got it last month. But anyway, I hope you're all doing good. And before I leave, I'm going to do one more thing here. I've been working on my private readings. Oh, and by the way, if anybody wants a private reading, it's lintarotreadings@gmail.com. lintarotreadings@gmail.com. If you want a private, I've got what I call my chakra dice here. Let's see, if Trump goes down, what's going to take him down? What part of his body? If he's going to get sick or something happen to him, what part of his body? So, won't be his legs. As far as spiritual, he's not connected. Okay, let's see. He's weakest in the solar plexus. There's something going on. That's why he has to always prove himself. And he's weakest in the heart. He's only got a 1 in the heart. He's got a 3 for the speaking, the thyroid and throat area, because he's you know, it's a total dick. But for his connection to spirit, he almost has none. It's a 1. That doesn't mean that it's not waiting for him. He could, from looking at these, yeah, he's getting wobbly in the legs. He's in the lower chakra, his energy chakra. He's got temperance in there. He needs to calm down, or he could give himself a stroke or a heart attack. Let's go to the gonads. He's getting help from somewhere else on that. Maybe he's still taking Viagra. Who knows what's going on with him? But here's help out of manna from heaven on that one. He's got the Empress in his solar plexus. That's weird. That's a pretty good card. That's a new birth. Don't tell me they're gonna take some of his sperm and knock somebody up. God, no. That's just my mind trying to figure out what the Empress should be doing. This is new beginnings, new birth, sometimes good things happen. There's nothing good going to go into his gut energy. That's where all of his feelings and emotions come from. Then his heart, he's only got a 1 in the heart, and he's a loser, total loser. Every time he talks, he's just binding himself up more. This is a throat chakra. This is him just taking his own energy and tying it in knots because he's not making any damn sense. He keeps thinking that no matter what he does, that it just put him up on a higher ground. But this is just his thinking. This is just what's coming out of his head. It's not what's coming out of anybody else's head. And in his head, his hopes, dreams, and everything else, he just thinks that everybody loves him. Even though we know that he knows that he stole the election, he knows that everything's fixed, he still thinks, probably because he's got all these money men and everything around him and behind him, he probably thinks that makes him the winner. Because this is what he thinks of himself. He thinks he's a big winner. And he thinks he's strong. But he's actually the hanged man. Yeah, something's coming down on him hard and quick. Yeah, he thinks as long as he's got his money and his armies and his rich friends in there taking care of everything, he thinks he's got it made, but he doesn't. There's smarter people coming after his ass. Definitely a loser in the heart. Anyway, I don't know what else to say. I just was trying to see if I could come through with any information that might make you guys feel better or worse, or not worse, feel better. Trying to see if I could come through with any information to make you feel better. Anyway, it's getting late, so I got to go. And I hope somebody's going to watch this. Anyway, don't forget, if you want a reading, that's lynntarotreadings@gmail.com. And thank you so much, and namaste. Good night now.